Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alina and I'm a self-published author, and in case it wasn't perfectly clear, I kind of failed at VEDA. I tried my best, I really did, but I failed. Can you hear Ares in the background? He didn't want to be in this room until now because it was too hot, but then I turned the camera on and here he is. Well, at least he's quiet because it's too hot. So on to today's video. You might have guessed it from the title, but I'm doing a Q&A because, like in the beginning of VEDA, I asked for questions and then never replied. Never did a Q&A. So I'm doing it today, so I hope you enjoy this. For those of you who are new here, I post videos about being an author, basically, and all that it entails, from the books I write, the books I publish, how I publish, cover design, marketing, all that good stuff. So if you're new, why not subscribe and like this video while you're at it, because I might forget to remind you at the end of it. No. Oh, he did not touch the camera. Okay, let's get going. The first question is from Nikki J. Marcus, who's my good friend and also a fellow author, and she's here on YouTube, so you should definitely check her out. I will leave a link to the video where I requested these questions so that you can follow all these people. And her question is, which is one book you've wanted to read for ages but haven't gotten to it yet? That would be Manon Lescaut, which is a classic, and it's scheduled to be our next read-along after the one we have this Sunday, which is For Vicious by V. Schwab. It's a classic, and it's the one and only classic ever that my boyfriend said he enjoyed. Also, I've seen it mentioned a lot and I just want to read it. So that's one book. Is there another one? Probably a lot of them, because I'm behind with my reading. I have a lot of books I haven't read yet. Let's just put it that way. But that one is like the one that I always have in my mind, that I really want to read it and I just never got around to it. So probably a good thing that I'm kind of forced to in like 2 months. The next one is from Jessica, and I think there are more. First question is, I can't remember if you've done a video on how you write your characters' relationships. How do you make your relationships so genuine? So first of all, I rarely do writing advice kind of videos. I think I've talked about my personal process here on YouTube, but I try not to give advice on how to write because I probably don't have the most common processes out there, and I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable doing it. But the way I make the relationships feel genuine is by treating them like real relationships, with ups and downs and issues and baggage and stuff that logically makes sense but emotionally they just don't, and you react to them as you would as a normal person when you have feelings and your brain is kind of overpowered. And it also helps that I try to use real relationships as inspiration, my own, things I've heard from my friends, things I've witnessed, things I've read about. So that's how I do it, I guess. The thing is, like, I try to let the relationship develop naturally and not kind of look for beats necessarily. So it kind of has a realness to it. Anyway, thanks for that. It's a huge compliment in a question. Jessica has a second question, and that's, when are you going? When are we going to get the next Tales of the Werewolf Tribes and Flare Chronicles books? I have no clue. For those of you who don't know, these are two of my series. One is about werewolves, paranormal romance, gay paranormal romance. The other one is gay sci-fi. and I have 2 books out in each of them. So I kind of want to get the 3rd book done for both of them, because A, both of them are partly written, and B, once I have 3 books I can do a box set, so that's always a plus. But I have no idea, so I'm focusing on wrapping up Just Don't, getting mysteries out there, and then I have a new contemporary series in mind that's been plaguing me for a while, which is more on the humorous romantic comedy kind of style of contemporary romance. And once I'm done with all that, I'll go back to these 2. I think I also haven't been in the right mood to write them. I think I've spoken about this before, but the 3rd Flyer book, it's called Flyer Uprising. I have like 15k already written of a novella length style of book, so I've written quite a bit, but there's a lot of anger in there. And during the first year after my surgery, I had my own issues with my own anger about everything that happened and how much it messed with all my plans. So I just wasn't in the right frame of mind to write that book. And let's say the 3rd werewolf book is also kind of super angsty. I couldn't bring myself to do it just yet, so yeah, that's why. But probably next year. Is that vague enough? Probably next year. We're moving on to Tamara, another author friend of mine, T.A. Woods. If you don't know her, what are you even doing here? Because her channel is like way bigger than mine, and she has books out that you should be reading. But anyway, her question is, where have you traveled and where is one place you would love to visit? Well, I've traveled quite a bit, not recently because things went to hell. I think my last abroad trip was to Berlin, and I was there for an author conference, but I have been on 3 different continents. I have been to the US and Canada. I've seen like 4 cities altogether. I've seen New York, Chicago, Washington DC, and Toronto. So 4 North American cities, which is not enough and not a lot, but you know, it's a good start. If you're hearing noises from outside or from within the house, I apologize, but it's just too hot to close stuff. It's not happening. Okay, so then I've been to Asia through Turkey. First of all, I've been to Istanbul, and that's the city of 2 continents, so obviously, but I've traveled further into Turkey because I have been to Uludeniz, which is on the southern shore, kind of midway through Turkey. I think it's more east than it is west of Turkey, but yeah. And if you don't know why I'm mentioning Uludeniz, it's first of all because I consider that to be one of my huge wins, because during my corporate career I got 3 weeks of paid leave all at once. I don't know how I pulled that off, but I did. And because I've used Uludeniz as the setting for the second Owl investigation mystery. It's Murder on the Catwalk. Most of the action happens there. Most of the experiences Emmett has were based on my own, including the paragliding experience, although I knew what I was getting into. I knew I was getting into the paragliding part. I didn't know I was getting into the weird jeep ride. So there's a paragliding scene in that book. They're really proud of that. I don't know, I'm weird. So yeah, and I've been through Europe, not through all of Europe, but I've seen quite a few countries. I've been to Italy, I've been to the UK, Scotland, if you want to consider it a different country than England, then fine, it's still the UK, but you know, it adds to the number. I've been to Luxembourg briefly, I've been to Belgium, I've been to Holland, the Netherlands, I've been to Germany, Hungary, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Bulgaria, and Greece. Yeah, I did a bit of traveling. I would love to do more. And speaking of that, the one place I would love to visit is Japan. Probably why my character Jaden is obsessed with Japan and she goes there twice a year for Comic-Con. Anyway, moving on. The next question is, well, set of questions is coming from Timmy. Did I get that right? It's a set. So at the thing, I'm sorry, I'm my normal self. So Timmy asks, first, how many books have you written until now and how many have you published? I don't know, 20 plus? I've published 20 plus, but that kind of includes box sets. I think it's under 30 at this point, or maybe not, I don't remember. I've published a lot, maybe I should count it. And in terms of books I've written and not published yet, I have like 2 finished and like 5 that are in the works, and I've written a chunk of them. Clearly, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know exactly how many books I'm writing on that I haven't published. I know there are a couple, or maybe 3 or 4 that are written and either have been unpublished and are pending editing, or are within editing and are new releases. So yeah, that's 4 of those plus all the ones I've... it's a mess. Next question from Timmy. How many genres have you tried and which ones? So I did write urban fantasy with the Bad Blood series. I did write quite a bit of contemporary romance, and I have I think to date 3 gay contemporary romance series, and that's Famous on the Internet, Lover's Journey, and Just Don't, the serial I'm currently working on, which already has 7 books out, and I'm working on the next 3, of which I have 1 finished, which I didn't count in the ones I already have finished. So it's 5 that are completely finished and need edits. Okay, and then I tried gay science fiction with the Flyer Chronicles series, paranormal romance with the Werewolf series, more sci-fi with Craving Stains, which is a short story, and now I'm diving deep into mystery with All Investigations, which is a gay LGBT mystery series, and with the Riverbrook Geeky Cozy Mysteries, which are cozy mysteries. So I've tried a lot of them and I love them all. So for now I'm trying to kind of get things published in all of them, but I've also tried my hand with gay fantasy, straight up fantasy, dragons and stuff, and that's Heart of the Dragon, which is the story I had in the Hot Summer Nights anthology. And I was like, I'm going to do this prequel kind of thing, and if people love it, then I'll do the series that I have in mind for it. I have a lot of that series planned. So I got a lot of emails saying they'd like to see more, so there's going to be more gay fantasy. I do also have Sky and Storm out, which is a sort of an alternate universe, medieval feel kind of story. That's not exactly fantasy, but let's say it might kind of slide into the speculative fiction overall genre. And the last question from Timmy is, how old is Ares? Well, Ares is going to turn 7 on October 19th. October 19th also happens to be the birthday of my friend Tina, who made these earrings for me. They are branded as Two Lodges. That's her brand for jewelry making, and apparently this was the first pair of earrings she ever made, and she gifted them to me, and I'm super happy. Obviously. It's cool jewelry from a friend and they're handmade. I adore them. So yeah, they share a birthday, which is fine because now I never forget her birthday. Because even if I would, Ares has a sister whose owners always are on top of the doggy birthday, so even if I'd forget, they'd remind me, which is awesome. I'm an awful human being, but hey, that's not news, is it? And now the last question of the day comes from my good friend Claire Cowter, who also gave up on VEDA. To be fair, we both did way better than expected. Like, I did not expect to do as well. So, okay, let's see. What does Claire want to know? What's your coffee order? First of all, I don't get coffee outside that much because it's an unnecessary expense, and I don't know, I don't get to go and enjoy coffee as much these days, and when I do, I would get a coffee order, but it kind of depends on the place. If I go to a McCafe, which is the coffee shop associated with McDonald's, it's separate from the actual McDonald's and the coffee they serve you when you go get your menus. And there they have this mojito kind of iced drink. I can't remember its name for the life of me, but that's what I love. And when I go to Starbucks, a white coffee mocha, or is it white cafe mocha? I don't remember. It's a white mocha. And I add at least 2 extra shots of espresso to the venti cup. 3 sometimes, depends on how much coffee I need. But like I said, I don't drink coffee outside that much because I like it in a certain way. And the thing I miss is the ice cream frappe that I used to have when I was going out more, but I figured out I can make that too, and that's fine. Plus, to be fair, other than it being a bit of an unnecessary expense, I don't know why I'm so aware of that. I know why. It's because of this channel I've been watching from a finance guy who makes 20-cent iced coffee. He made me realize I can get the same quality of coffee, only more and cheaper at home. It's weird, but yeah, that's something I get when I go to one of the terraces we usually hang out at. It's a sort of a restaurant, coffee shop, whatever, a mix of everything, and that's my order there. It's a ice cream frappe, because you have the normal frappe and the ice cream frappe, and I get the ice cream frappe, which is never enough. It's too little, it's not strong enough, and it's never cold enough. I don't know what they're doing, but probably why I'm upset not to do it at home, just to have more of it. And yeah, I knew, Claire, yours is a soy latte. I like lattes a lot. I usually drink my coffee with milk of some sort. I don't like it black, and I don't like it with cream or any other thing. I like it with milk, preferably some vanilla. So yeah, I think that's it. I got all the questions. That's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this Q&A with yours truly. I will try to edit it and get it out as soon as I can. Just let me just get rid of my phone because it's a quick announcement. I spent about an hour last night trying to plan ahead for the YouTube channel. The style of content I do might change slightly, and I might focus on doing some series of videos, releasing 1 or 2 videos a week. I'm gonna delve deeper into self-publishing, on choices you make, on things you can do, or on the DIY side of self-publishing, what you can do, why you should do it or you shouldn't do it, and things like that. And someone's calling us on the landline while I'm filming, because that's my life now. Also sounds like it was a hang-up. Great. Anyway, that's all I had to say for today. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have any more questions that you would like answered in a future Q&A, send them my way. Post them in the comments. And because I didn't forget, like this video. That would be great. Everything is happening right now while I'm filming, obviously. And by the way, I have cut most of my sound alerts on my phone. So yeah, never mind. One still got through. Please like this video if you've enjoyed it. Consider subscribing and let me know what you think in the comments. Like I said, more questions if there are any. I will do a second Q&A well, it's not the second one because I think I did one before, but anyway, I'll do another Q&A in the future. And It's Murder on the Catwalk is out now, if it wasn't obvious. It was released on August 20, and there will soon be a pre-order for book 3, which I'm currently writing, so yay, you should check that out. And that's it, bye.